Today is a sad day. For when I woke up this morning, and for the half hour-ish I was laying in bed after waking up, I was then hit with a very, let's call it not a fun sound. The Digivice IC, the Digimon I hatched on New Year's, that I wanted to keep alive for the whole year, that one, it died. So, here's what I think happened, right? Because like I'm usually pretty cautious with this. I take precautions, and because like the amount of times I've said, even on this channel, like, oh, I'm gonna go to work, but before I go to work I'm gonna degen it a stage so I know it's got plenty of time, so it's not gonna try and evolve while I'm at work and die. And I've always been trying to keep on top of its trust meter to keep that bar not full, but like at least above half, right? So last night, because I've been checking this thing not like constantly, because you kind of need this guy like hours at a time, you'll be fine. But I always checked in, like basically every time I check on the DM20, which if you've run a DM20, you know that's often, I would check in on this guy as well, and the Kiwami. And every time I did, I would go over to the stats tab, which I can't access now, but I can wiggle the egg. Go over to the stats tab and check on the trust meter, and if that was low, or if his weight was getting high, I would do a few battles with him, or take him into World online to do some battles there. So, when I went to bed last night, I checked the trust meter, because I do most nights, and it was above half. It was like, and it was a perfect level. I had a Waymon who was set to evolve into Demon. Because like, if it was a full meter, he'd evolve into Mirage Galgamon. If it's like somewhere between 1/3 and 2/3, it's Demon. If it's below a third full, he doesn't evolve. And when he doesn't evolve, he dies. So I think what happened was, he went to sleep through the night, that's fine. He wakes up at roughly 7 or 8ish in the morning, and I do not wake up at 7 or 8ish in the morning. I wake up just a little bit later. Tentamon down there is just pooped. But even so, it's a mostly full bar, right? It's above half. It was like, if that's the start of the bar, that's the end of the bar. It was roughly about here. I have hours before this guy, like before the bar drains too much. And apparently not. Because remember in the last video when I was like, oh, sometimes you can just watch the bar go from basically full to nearly empty in the span of like an hour, or maybe an hour and a half. I think that had happened. I think the weight got real high and I didn't notice, and I was just laying in bed on my phone, and then I'd hear the do 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 do. So I like immediately jump up and start mashing that button as hard as I can, and it wasn't enough. I didn't save him. There is some silver lining. I suspect going from the last, like, failing to save him, because I was mashing that button pretty hard. Like, that's the kind of button mashing I did to beat Diablomon on this. I'm pretty good at button mashing. That's why I like the DM20 so much, because the training is just do-do-do-do-do-do. But I'm suspecting it's not a matter of how fast you mash the button, it's a matter of matching your specific Digimon's tempo, maybe. Because on this device, every Digimon, when you take them into a battle, they have a tempo they like. So for example, for example, I don't know, say Numamon might like something more like along the lines of, but Strangromon might prefer more something like that. So maybe it's less to do with button mashing and more to do with hitting their tempo, but coincidentally, every time I've had a Digimon die and revived them, historically it's been Bancho Leomon who does like fast mashing. So maybe historically, because they've been at a Super Ultimate or an Ultimate stage when they've died, and I've managed to bring them back by mashing quickly, and it's just been close enough to their tempo that it worked. Who knows? That's something to look into, because we don't know much about these. That's what's really fun about them. It could be a case of I just didn't mash it fast enough, or it could be that I didn't mash it close enough to that Digimon's tempo. Who knows? I'll figure that out to do more runs with this, because I am definitely going to run this thing again, just maybe not right now. There's things I want to do with this. I want to test that theory on the, if they're dying, do you just button mash at their tempo, or do you button mash as fast as you can? That's what I want to test. And I do want to see what happens if you clear all of the tournament arenas, because there's the 4 on that menu, and then there's the 2 ticket items in there. I want to see what happens, or if you get anything for clearing all of those. So there's things I want to test with this, and I'm definitely going to run it again, just probably not now, and probably not on the channel for a minute, because there's other stuff I want to do. I've got these guys to talk about, I've got some stuff I want to do with that guy, I'm going to be remodding these guys, and I'm always running this guy. There's never a time I'm not running this guy. So for now, Mr. Digivice IC, just sit to the side there. I'll take your battery out later, and whenever I pop a new battery back in, Waymon will be back. And I'll just have to take good care of him then. Moving on, though, to a less depressing and sad topic. On the DM20, we have evolved. We now have Groundramon and Wingdramon. And conveniently, they both need training. It's almost like I noticed that and intentionally left it for the video. Groundramon shoots boxing gloves, by the looks of it, and orb thing. Maybe it's a rock or ground, because, you know, Groundramon, he digs, and he has, like, those aren't wings, they're like big claws that he uses for digging. It's kind of cool. And Wingdramon. Here you got little pulse wave thingies and a slash. I don't actually know much about Wingdramon, but you know, he did have big wings. You don't see it on the sprite, but they're real big wings. And he's got like these 2 orb things that he holds. They're both pretty cool. And now these guys, it's just easy mode, because it's DM20. When you get to perfect, it's kind of easy mode, just take good care of them until they evolve to ultimate. Oh, we can even send them into a battle, and it doesn't matter how many battles they win or lose, or if they don't fight at all, they'll evolve as long as you don't give them care mistakes. And even then, I think you're allowed like 1 care mistake, so that's usually going to be something like you didn't put them to sleep in time. Very soon, they will be evolving. I say very soon. They evolved this morning, so we've probably got, what, 2 more days with these guys? 2 or 3 more days, depending how much I put them to sleep. But more importantly, and I knew this was going to be a big video anyway, more importantly, he is here. It's Wargreymon. Doesn't need any training, but we're doing it anyway. Vaccine type, so that means all the shakes. And he sends like these little cross thingies. When I first saw it, I was like, what is that? Because that's not like Gaia Force or Terra Force, and it's not Brave Tornado or Great Tornado, I think it's called in the dub. But I realised it's probably just the Dramon killers, like these little slashy claw things. And that's at least the best thing I can apply it to. And it's fiery, because it's like a fiery slash from Wargreymon. I think that's probably the best way I can put it. Maybe it is some form of Gaia Force, but it's got like rings around it. I don't know. It looks cool either way. I think it is a good sprite that matches Wargreymon pretty well. But it's time. Are you ready for this? Wargreymon, Metal Garurumon, Jogress 2, Omegamon. Be cool if he wasn't blurry. And you know, finally, let's put him on the Metal Empire background. So, with Omegamon here, and of course, with Mastemon over here, there's only really one thing we can do. We have two Super Ultimate level Digimon, who are both vaccine type. Of course, we're going to send him into battle, and really hope that the camera blurs this very soon. Battle, connect, Pendulum. Send it. Mastemon versus Omegamon. First shot goes to Mastemon. Omegamon firing his grey sword, or slashing I should say. Mastemon firing some kind of like orb, light and dark things. But Omegamon fired back with the... Well, I guess you only really ever see his Grey Sword attack. You don't really see his Guru Cannon attack on this, unfortunately. Because the Pendulums only have one attack sprite, which is kind of a shame, but still cool. Omegamon wins. First of 3, right? Or best of 3, I should say. This time I'm going to shake them both to green. Or yellow. You're not the same diff. Uh-oh. I screwed up. Okay, doing it again. Shaking both to yellow. Just gives it a little bit more of an interest. They're not always at full power. Okay, Omegamon lands the first hit, but this is how it went last time for Mastemon. Mastemon lands the second hit, but it's only half as powerful. This could be it. Whoever lands this, Omegamon lands it again. That's how it is. Omegamon's won 2 out of 3. Mastemon got completely sweeped. So, I'm going to chill with these guys for a little while. Obviously, I've now completed the Nature Spirits album. You saw that in blurrier vision, but that's fine. I've still got a bunch of stuff to do on the Metal Empire, so next run will just be going through a lot of that. So there's a missing adult there, I assume that was Mechanorimon. There's a couple missing perfects, and a few missing ultimates. Hey, Zeke Greymon. And there's one of the super ultimates, and there's the other super ultimate. So, yeah. I'll chill with these guys for a bit. Next time we come back to the Pendulum colours, it will be mostly Metal Empire. I'll definitely be running this guy in the background, maybe for jog rest purposes as well. Like, if I'm running one Pendulum, I may as well run the other. It'd just be fun to raise, I don't know, Hercule Kabuterimon, because it's been a long while since I've raised a Hercule Kabuterimon. So I'm going to go for that. But it will be this guy, and there's only probably a few more runs until I've raised everything on this side. And I've not ordered the Wave 6 and 7, or the version 6 and 7 Pendulum colours, so who knows what I'll do after that. Maybe that'll just be the end of the Pen Colour series. What I have ordered is the Cross Wars devices, and they'll be coming in at some point, eventually. I don't actually know, I've not looked into it. And I'll definitely be doing videos on those. I've got a few odd little videos I want to do. Including stuff to do with, you know, this guy here. And this guy here. Anyway, I think that's enough rambling on for now. It's already been a fairly long video. As I said earlier, briefly, nothing's really changed or new on the Kiwami. But he's not dead yet, which is the important part, which is more than I can say for some devices. I'll be back for you later, don't you worry. We'll maybe not run it for a whole year straight, but I will come back to it to test out lots of little theories I've got running with this thing. And it'll be fun. But until the next video, whichever video that turns out to be, and whenever that turns out to be, thank you very, very much for watching, and we will see you in the next one.